Okay, now have attacked this pawn once again. We could move our knight, which would both defend the pawn and threaten this fork. It would only win an exchange while their bishop is still there, not a full rook. Minus a pawn too if they take the pawn. We could castle long, give a check. Allows the opponent to maybe go here. I'm not sure this check is that useful, so I probably won't castle long. I think probably best to either defend this pawn somehow, castle short, and prepare to come up with the rooks, take the open d file. Probably don't want to just take this pawn. It looks like maybe a free pawn, but I like more the threat of putting the knight here. Maybe this is the way to go. Put the knight here, defend this pawn, threaten this fork. But if we go through our checklist and be thorough on this, if we go here with the knight, what's our opponent going to do? Do they have any checks? No. Do they have any captures? This pawn, of course, but it's defended twice and only attacked twice, so not good for the opponent. Do they have any threats? None that seem immediate. Pushing the pawn that just loses to the fork. And if the opponent defends king here or here, we can maybe try to harass the king. Let's go ahead and defend the pawn. Also opens up our pawn to defend this pawn in case our knight gets booted. Let me shift the screen slightly so I'm not blocking the board with my own camera. So let's see, what might our opponent do? Okay, they defended the pawn with the rook. Very logical. So I think we ought to defend this pawn because our knight's probably going to come under attack. Then again, we'd have to retreat here. I'm not sure how much we'd care. Wait a minute. Why am I not just taking the bishop? I am just blind today. Let's just take the bishop. Now, I suppose we ought to castle, maybe? Long or short? Short seems safer, long seems like it gives a check, but that check doesn't accomplish much unless our opponent blunders and just like goes here, forever trapping this rook. And this rook is already trapped, so I don't really want to give my opponent a reason to move the king here. Tempo doesn't really seem worth it to me. I think I'll just castle, get the rooks connected. I'm so glad you saw that. I was yelling at my monitor. Yeah, I don't know. I feel pretty blind today. Some days are like that. You just Don't see what's right in front of you. Okay, as expected, they're trying to kick our knight. Now we can move it back here or here. Here seems stupid. Because if we go here, where's the knight going to go? Can't go back here, can't go here, can't go here, and can't go here. So probably we want to go here. We don't want to trade two pieces for the rook. Material-wise, the rook and the pawn are equivalent. In general, two minor pieces for one major and a pawn is not worth it, though, especially since we're still in the middle game. So, for example, we go here, check, rook takes, bishop takes. It does give us pretty good still activity with that bishop, and our opponent can't castle, but I think I would rather just hang on to the two pieces. So if we go here, opponent might try to continue to harass, but then we can just jump here. Let me make sure. Your opponent proposes a take back. Sure, why not? Okay, so instead, reinforcing this. I guess they would have been unhappy to trade the pawn and rook for the knight and bishop. We are ahead in pieces, so we can start to try to trade, simplify. Give this check now, take, take. I'll go ahead and do that, not overcomplicate it. This pawn might come down, this pawn might come down, bishop might come down, this bishop might come down. We're threatening to capture the rook as well. They had no way to take the bishop. Oh, of course. I'm so bad at chess today. And every day, of course. It would have just been winning the exchange. Okay, they're threatening